Zinedine Zidane, also known as Zizou, recognized by many as the greatest midfielder to ever play the game, also seen as one of the greatest players of all time. Zidane is one of those players to win every single trophy in football. He won multiple league titles, he won the Champions League, and for his country he won the Euro and the biggest trophy in sport, the World Cup. Zidane would also win 3 FIFA Players of the Year, and he will also win a Ballon d'Or. So after a 6-week trial with Cannes, Zidane was signed and played professionally for Cannes for 4 years. It was actually at Cannes where Zidane's first coaches noticed that he was quite sensitive and prone to attack spectators who insulted his race or his family. The occasional violence that he would display throughout his career was shaped by an internal conflict of being an Algerian Frenchman, suspended between cultures and surviving the tough streets of La Castellane where he grew up. In his first full season with Cannes, the club will secure its first ever European football berth by qualifying for the UEFA Cup after finishing 4th in the league. This remains the club's highest finish in the top flight. Zidane will later join Bordeaux, and during his time with Bordeaux, he helped them win the Intertoto Cup, and they also finished runners-up to Bayern Munich in the 95-96 UEFA Cup. The crazy story about Zidane is Blackburn Rovers manager Kenny Dalglish had expressed interest in signing Zinedine Zidane in 1995, in which the club owner Jack Walker reportedly replied by saying, "Why do you want to sign Zinedine Zidane when we have Tim Sherwood?" It was also reported that Newcastle United were offered to sign Zinedine Zidane for 1.2 million, but the club turned down the offer after watching him, claiming he was not good enough for the English First Division. In 1996, Zinedine Zidane received the award for League One Player of the Year. After having a great season for Bordeaux and also standing out whilst playing for his country, Zinedine Zidane had a lot of offers to join some top clubs, and he decided to move to Champions League winners Juventus. Zidane's impact in Italy was immediate, and he ended up winning the 96-97 Serie A title and the 1996 Intercontinental Cup. He was also named Serie A Foreign Footballer of the Year in his first season. In Zidane's first year, Juventus will go on to lose in the Champions League final to Borussia Dortmund, where he was unable to make an impression. The following season, Juventus went on to win the 1997-98 Serie A and retain the Scudetto, where Zidane was again very impressive for Juventus. In Europe, Juve made it to their third consecutive UEFA Champions League final, but they lost 1-0 to Real Madrid. In 1998, Zidane was named FIFA World Player of the Year and also won the Ballon d'Or. In the season 2000 to 2001, Juventus were eliminated in the group stage in the Champions League, and Zinedine Zidane was banned for headbutting Habsburg player Jochen Kientz. In 2001, Zidane was named Serie A Foreign Footballer of the Year for the second time. In 2001, Zinedine Zidane will join Real Madrid for a world record fee of 77.5 million euros. He signed a 4-year contract. In his first season at Real Madrid, Zidane scored one of the most famous goals, match-winning goals, a volley that was hit with his weaker foot at the edge of the box in Real Madrid's 2-1 win against Bayer Leverkusen to help them win the 2002 Champions League. The goal went down as one of the all-time greatest goals to ever be seen. The following season, Zinedine Zidane helped Real Madrid to win the 2002-2003 La Liga, starring alongside Luis Figo in midfield, and he was named the FIFA World Player of the Year for the third time. While Zinedine Zidane's final season at Madrid ended without a trophy, he enjoyed success on a personal note by scoring his first hat-trick against Seville in the 4-2 win. So we've seen a lot of players turn up for their clubs and not for their country. Zinedine Zidane is one of those rare players that delivered for club and country. And Euro 1996 was Zidane's first international tournament for France. He did not play well during that tournament because he still wasn't fully established in the French setup, but France were able to get to the last four. In the 1998 FIFA World Cup was where Zidane started to deliver for France, and he was absolutely influential in helping France win their first ever World Cup. And Zinedine Zidane in the first game gave an assist, in the second game contributed to Thierry Henry's goal. He was sent off in the third game, which meant he had to miss the next game. France got to the finals of the World Cup and had to play Brazil, which was considered the best nation in the world. Zinedine Zidane scored 2 goals in that finals as France won 3-0 to deliver France their first ever World Cup, which made Zidane an instant national hero. 2 years later, France won the Euro 2000, becoming the first team to hold both the World Cup and the European Championships since West Germany in 1974. Zinedine Zidane was sublime in that competition. He scored 2 goals in the tournament, but his overall play was what made everyone excited. People said it was the best performance in the international tournament since Diego Maradona in 1986. Zidane was named the player of the tournament in the Euro 2000. Zidane himself believed he was at the peak of his powers during that tournament. 2002 World Cup, Zidane came to the competition with an injury and missed the first 2 matches where France couldn't win either of the games, and he was rushed back in the third game where France would lose 2-0 and will be eliminated in the group stage. It was considered the worst performance by a defending champion in the history of the competition. In the Euro 2004, France were eliminated in the quarterfinals. Zidane will finish the competition with 3 goals and also have a good tournament. In the 2006 World Cup, which was going to be the last time the world was going to see the brilliance of Zinedine Zidane. At that time, Zidane was meant to be past his prime, but what Zidane showed in that tournament was one of the best individual performances we've seen in a World Cup. France started the tournament quite slow, and Zinedine Zidane in the third game was suspended. But in the round of 16, when he came back, he assisted Patrick Vieira and he also scored a goal for himself to eliminate Spain. In the quarterfinals against Brazil, Zidane had an all-time performance, playing against all the Brazilian Galacticos. Zidane stood above every single player on the pitch. Breathtaking. One of the greatest performances we've seen individually from a player who was meant to be past his prime, and he ended up assisting Thierry Henry's deciding goal and was named the man of the match. In the semi-finals, France eliminated Portugal to go to another major finals. The finals was France versus Italy, and within 7 minutes into the finals, Zinedine Zidane scored one of the most iconic penalties that we've seen, scoring a Panenka against Luigi Buffon, which struck the crossbar and bounced just over the line to become only the 4th player in the World Cup history to score in 2 different finals. Italy will pull it back to 1-1 and the game will go into extra time, and Zinedine Zidane was sent off in the 110th minute for headbutting Marco Materazzi in the chest. It was, till this day, it's one of the most craziest but iconic moments. It was later revealed through interviews that Materazzi had insulted Zinedine Zidane's sister, which led to Zidane's anger and reaction. So the finals will go to a penalty shootout where Italy will win the World Cup finals. Zinedine Zidane would win the player of the tournament, and that was his last game at a professional level. Zinedine Zidane is one of the most iconic players we've ever seen. An elegant player, skillful player, high IQ, eye for goal, incredible passer of the ball, which is why he's regarded the greatest midfielder that's ever played a game. He has scored in big games in finals for club and country, and has won the biggest trophies for club and country. Individually, he has won the Ballon d'Or and 3 FIFA World Player of the Year. Zinedine Zidane is one of football GOATs.